Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 11 Week 4 Day 4. So today, of course, we got ourselves the class event for the Warlock, or I should say Warlord hero class. There's too many W's. But anyways, yeah, we got Warlord. Unfortunately, among one of the weaker hero classes, first one you ever get in the game. It's a triple damage burning hero class, so in that regard, you know, it's not bad. But then you take it to comparison to every other triple damage hero class in the game. On burning, and it is pretty bad. Because while the mechanic is good, the competition that it has with many other hero classes makes it kind of underwhelming. Anyways, we're running with 3 Gobchompers because we can, and you could either do Dawnbringer or Black Manacle, or, you know, really any AoE weapon. In this case, we did set up with Black Manacle, so might as well just do it with Black Manacle. Of course, you do get some benefit if you do a Dawnbringer because they're yellow, so you get that little bit of extra damage there. I'll just do it or Archmage's triple Gobchomper instead. Gobchomper's mostly to clean up, and obviously Black Manacle there to win out the battle. And somehow we already have a Vow Raven. That didn't take long. Unfortunately, no Surge on the purple, so not full mana yet, as I'm giving him all the yellow he needs to go get full mana. Luckily, he's full blocked. Imagine if I actually got Devour. And there we go. Anyways, hello everyone! Hello Gimli! Hello Bill! Hello Isabel! Hello Lester! Hello Draco! Hello Ginki! Hello, hello Tyrion, hello Andrew, hello Supernova, hello everyone else, welcome. Hope all has been well. Getting close to the weekend. Not quite yet though. Also tomorrow, we do have the arena event starting. Unfortunately, we did not get a patch this week, even though there was one slated, and it got delayed all the way to November. We're still getting a patch prior to then, like between now and then. However, all the Broken Spire stuff that was supposed to come this month, it is now delayed all the way. We were talking about this on Tuesday, Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday, which would have been last night, actually. But, yeah, it got delayed all the way to November. But, yeah, I was hoping they would maybe do some arena rework this, with it. If they're still going to, or if they were even going to in the first place, who knows? But, of course, arena events doesn't really give too much in the current state of game. It's among one of the, weaker weekend events, mostly because of what it actually does. Because you can already get your 3 daily arena runs every single day. So the only extra thing it really gives you is like, here's a couple like gem keys, there's a few event keys, like here's like an orb after you play for like almost an hour or 2. But its loot's just not that good when compared to like anything else. Even just like a Tuesday event or something. And especially if you compare it to Vault events. So in all fairness, you can't really compare anything's loot in the game to Vault events just because it's so high. Hello, Logic Slayer. Welcome. Now we need purple. I need purple surges, though. I do not get full mana from a non-surging purple. Actually, what's my banner right now? Is it +2 purple or +1 purple? Because if the answer is +1, we actually do need an extra purple here. I wasn't going to do it that way necessarily, however, due to how much we're getting as far as mana this one, sure, we get enough. I want to do it this way just to make sure whenever we take a purple surge, we're good to go. Is it going to come into play a little bit more than the brown? So I haven't really gotten to use them yet, but you can cast them for a little bit of poke. They're normally used to kill goblins, of course, as the name would imply, Gobchomper. However, they are still a empowered damage poke. It can still work for such. Oddly enough, out of all the counters in the game to a specific typing, this is the only one, if I'm not mistaken, that has empowered, which is, of course, pretty handy. Of course, it counters something that's really strong too, the Goblin meta, that has pretty much always been meta, and even after these existing, still remains meta. Like, you do this for, like, almost any other typing, and, like, they will crumble against it. Get Goblin just, like, infinite loop before you even get a single empowered cast off, and it's like, oh, well, there you go. Especially since Goblin teams can normally work with 3 as well. You don't even necessarily need the 4th option. Kinda crazy. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're also going to be getting a new Gem Dragon soon. If we get a perfect run today, I believe we get it tomorrow. If we get a perfect run. Still at 0. Actually, let's go do that right now. Before we finish out the class event. Because I want to see if we actually get anything. We're getting there. The achievement still says we're getting closer, even though we're not getting any closer. So close. Oh no, we can see how true it is. We don't need his pet, right? No, we do not. Okay. Let me go to a dungeon and see how many clicks it takes. My vote is it'll take 1 click until we fail. Called it. No, I even got incorrect stairs. I want to stay. Oh no, we got oh no, silence. Oh no. But yeah, that didn't take long. Anyways, I need an anti, what's it called, build? Where even is it? Also, why are both these set to brown blue? Oh, I needed it for the it's Broken Spire week. I was like, wait, why are they set to default banner? Yeah, I forgot that we needed it for Broken Spire, because the default banner, if you set no banner, which I don't think I have a team slot for it, but it's brown blue. And you normally never use it in any context, except this week, where we needed it earlier, which is why I thought that. Anyways, what am I looking for? I'm looking for my very cleansy version. Where even is it? Gosh, it's like buried here. There it is, Dungeon Cleanse. That's what I'm looking for. This is our run dungeon team when we get silenced, pretty much. But there's a few other ones that are also annoying. But silence definitely pretty high up there. So we need either a yellow or a extra turn. And since we don't have extra turn, we will simply take a yellow. Unfortunately, in doing so, that does slightly ruin our alignment. And then we just cast this, start getting that rolling, and we should be good to go. Creates a bunch of yellow for me, which I actually probably should have taken because we could have extra turned for it. But I think we're going to be fine otherwise. Take the green. I will feed you to full mana. You cast you, you're dead. Oh, apparently not dead. Here we go. Now you're dead. But this will basically help us counteract the silence so we don't have to deal with it. Ideally, we just find an extra turn, but yellow will do just the same. Though having neither is problematic. There are times where we can have neither. This is that time. There's a third option if we can't find either, and that is getting full mana on this thing. That is not advised, but we can do it. Also kind of funny, we got a double cleanse at once. It was an extra turn yellow, which cleanses us 2 times over, which obviously does nothing extra, but is still pretty funny. So this actually gives us 5 to all of our mana, so I'm just going to do that on you. And this will allow us to Beatrix, and then that will allow us to win. If you could actually land, it is. I said hello, Clipbomb! Hello, Janice! Welcome, welcome! You ran Monk, Phoenicia, Magma Dragon. Yeah, Monk, interesting hero class. It has the most amount of immune of any hero class in the game. Having not only cleanse, but also all those immunities that that one Titan-like thing has, or Dwarf-like one. Or has like immune to stun, and, you know, that whole long list of things. Alright, we'll take that over. I was gonna say, hopefully that will allow us to take purple the following turn. Not quite the way I wanted to, but we still get it. And it should be matched as long as we just land extra turn here. And we do, and we win. Oh, still not enough damage. Fine, we'll poke one more time. I'm actually gonna hit on the guy that has barrier. Alright, apparently we're gonna have multiple barriers here. He's just gonna keep extra turning. And then we kill him out. I believe that was our final battle there. But once again, as is expected, no perfect. Very unfortunate. But that now brings our Dragon Knight to the number of 390. So in 2 more days, or tomorrow night, if we get a perfect. Like that's gonna happen. If we get our perfect. That's never happening. Eventually it has to, obviously. But so far, nope. Like it has to eventually, but time will tell. What do we need here? We'll take that over. At this point, I'm just going to triple poke him. I've also taken that skull there. This is one other thing this team can end up doing, especially if you get Devour. So if you Black Manacle, get a Devour, you can then poke 3 times and then win. Depending on the durability of the enemy, you can also do that. It's more guaranteed if you get to Devour specifically. And of course, they're not going to take long with their turn, luckily. So we can just wipe them all out. We can, of course, do another AoE follow-up or something similar, but we have access to Gob Trumpers, might as well use Gob Trumpers. That reminds me, we're not getting a Mythic next week's Friday, are we? it's 2 Fridays from now. Because there are 30 days in this month. And that last Friday is a 30th, or, the final day. Which means we get the very rare final possible day for Mythic. So a bit of a wider gap. Because, of course, Mythics work on the first Friday of every month. However, next month is a 7th day Friday, which is the furthest into a month that a Mythic ever gets released. Unfortunately, it's a pretty bad one. I believe it's Scorpio, which is my birth month. However, it is really bad. It's basically a troop that's trying to kill one at a time very inefficiently. If you want to kill one at a time, you might as well go Zugaf or any billion other options that are better. So not much of a point in really using it. It doesn't have any kind of follow-up or anything like that. It just simply tries to one-shot a troop and fails miserably at it. So not really much incentive to use it. And doesn't even have like a unique trait that would be making it worthwhile either. So it's kind of unfortunate. It's not the worst Mythic out there, but it's definitely not a particularly high priority one. It's pretty low priority. Yeah, the 7th is when it comes out. The latest possible day that it can. No, we don't get it on the 30th. It always works on the first Friday of the month. Which means next month is the latest possible date that it can occur. With first being, of course, the earliest possible date. Still better than Amnesia? Oh no, everyone says Amnesia is bad. And while she was kind of bad when she came out, and still bad to this day, compared to other Mythics, she's pretty mid-tier. Like, she actually does something that's unique. Like, she still has a decent summon, which a lot of Mythics can't say, while having okay mana accumulation. Like, compared to other mana accumulators, it seems pretty bad. But still mana accumulation on top of a decent summon. Like, it's at least doing something unique. And its unique thing is being very annoying by summoning infinite Inferno Kings that then keep reviving over and over again while still doing some mana accumulation support. Like, it actually does something. Like, the Mythic we're getting next month, it tries to one-shot something very inefficiently. And can't even one-shot it. Like, even if it had a 100% chance to one-shot whatever it touches, it would still never be used. Because all it's doing is killing one at a time. Even right there, look, we did an AoE damage and we got a kill. And anything that ever tries to specifically kill one thing at a time will always be bad. Even if it's like a 100% chance to kill something for 20 mana, it'll still be bad. That is where the meta's at right now. You could literally add a legend with like a 15 mana cost, and its ability just reads, instantly kills the enemy no matter what, or your target no matter what, and it still would never get used. Just because it has no loop potential, and still has a high mana pool that it needs to fill. And it's only killing one thing at once rather than multiple. The only reason why Zugaf can get away with it is because it frees burns, which sets up into triple damage burning, and creates skulls. If Zugaf's ability was just kill an enemy, it would never be used. It's just all the other aspects of it make it usable. Because you could technically remove the insta-kill from Zugaf and it would still be used. Not as much, obviously. But Zugaf is still usable without its insta-kill. But it would not be usable if it was only the insta-kill. Alright, we got that done. I guess we do need to go touch the world event because I'm pretty sure my guild has not gotten all the battles in. So let's go assist. Of course, the scoring for this week is just take highest rarity. With the exception of Wrath Naga being tied worse with Lava Elemental. Aside from that, it's just rarity order. Eventually, you just click in the same spot over and over again, which is where we're at right now. Keep clicking the same spot. It just keeps giving you a battle to go do. Which, honestly, I actually prefer it this way. Because it's less convoluted on what on earth the scoring is. You just avoid the Naga and the lowest rarity one, and then you just keep spamming the same spot over and over again. It's a lot easier to remember than what on earth some weak scoring is. Which I should have done the AoE first in that situation. Like, see how bad in like an instance like this a insta-kill would be? Like, an insta-killing troop would have killed at max like 2 by now. And now the whole team's already dead. And it's even a low meta Inferno King. I mean, Infernus isn't even that good these days. Yet it would still win quicker than like an insta-kill troop. Or at least a single target insta-kill troop. Obviously, if we ever get like a multi-target insta-kill, that'd be kind of interesting. We somewhat do to some degree. The closest we have to a multi-kill insta-kill is Ubistet, who, if it gets a kill, will insta-kill the other one, meaning theoretically it has a double insta-kill. Ubistet, as well as Scorpius, which, not to be confused with the bad Scorpio coming next month, but Scorpius has a double insta-kill if they're poisoned. But both of those are very situational. They're usable, but they're a lot more situational as far as when you use them. Ubistet's definitely a bit more usable, because there's not a counter to having low HP, but there is a counter to, you know, having immune to poison, making him incapable of even killing. Which would make Ubistet used a little bit more overall. Though still not used too much. Though it is very common with Rope Dart. The main Ubistet strategy is you throw down Rope Dart that has auto extra turn. And then you go straight into Ubistet, and then you double kill, and then you repeat it again and double kill again. That's the main strategy for him, if you're going to use him. Actually, isn't he in Soulforge this week? I know it was pretty recently. I can't remember if it was this week. It might have been a couple weeks ago. No, yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, because this week we have Ariali and Enraged Karandar. Or sorry, not Enraged Karandar. What's the other one? I mean, not Ariali. I literally called her Ariali. I mean, Arc Proxy Evandra. I knew Ariali was in here. I just forgot. I just called her Ariali. But I mean, Arc Proxy Evandra and Scourge of Honor are this week. Go for okay. I would not advise getting Ariali. The only thing Ariali's used for is with Scorpius. There's that one troop I was just mentioning with the double kill poison thing. But normally it's better to use Ubistet. Anyways, what we're doing? Clear out this. Get our last few battles here. Unfortunately, we're stuck in the same spot. Did you fail at dungeon? Yes. Honestly, pretty much any night, the answer is yes. Like, you will probably know in the title. Like, we finally got dungeon! Our first perfect dungeon after, like, 5 years of trying. No, it's... At this point, it's been, like, what, a month? And we still haven't gotten a perfect dungeon? Actually, when was the release date of the previous patch? I want to say it's almost been a month. It's getting up there. If I had to guess, we'll get it by 50. I believe based on the odds, that is like triple or quadruple over odds. Somewhere's around there. I still don't know what the exact odds are, though. My guesstimation initially was it's about a 1 in 10. But I've heard every number from like 5% to like 20-something. I'm pretty sure it's not 20-something. We would have gotten it by now if it was. Because my original guess was it's about 10%. Based on just eyeballing it. But every time I ask, I keep getting different numbers. And I'm not sure which one is correct these days. What I'm just going with is about 10%. It's about a 5% to get the 3 fights. That would explain why it's been almost a month then, if that is closer to that. But anyways, that's the battles. Let's go and hand out a code. And I think our main target then is tokens, as we have been this week. Honestly, we've been doing pretty good on tokens this week. Because if I'm not mistaken, there's no... Oh yeah, I got a VIP offer thingy today. They're worth getting whenever you see. It's 135 gems worth of VIP keys for 125 gems. It's only 10 gem saving, but 10 gem saving is 10 gem saving, so I grab it. It's also where some of the stack of 72 has come from. Not all of it. This is actually every single free or gem-based VIP key I've been able to get in the last like 3 years. I would say about 2/3 of this are the free ones that you get from like Adventure Board and whenever they hand them out for like the anniversary sometimes. Yeah, I would say around 40 of this were probably completely free-to-play ones that free-to-play players were able to get. The other ones were from the VIP thingy. But yeah, we have 72 VIP keys. Just kind of stacking there. It's actually exceedingly rare to ever have a number above 50 for these. Because by natural means, you can barely ever actually get your hands on these. Like, you can infinitely buy them once you have them. But as far as actually getting the physical keys, it's a lot harder to do. And we might actually have one of the bigger stacks of them in the entire game. Maybe not the biggest, but definitely a decently big one. Anyways, enough for the other ones. There are people with like 1 million, almost like maybe even 10 million gold keys or something. People take tribute like 18 times a day. Anyways, I'll go hand out a code. Go get a code to you guys. Actually, we'll go keep handing out the same way we have been. I know it's been working out pretty well. Pretty sure you guys don't mind how we hand it out as long as we're handing it out. Well, of course, some people can't even claim it because it's on the other thing. But there you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. So we'll go head over there right now. If we go over to gemsofwar.com and then go over to the redeem code section and then go and copy paste it from chat and then go and put your invite code that's found in the bottom left corner of settings. And then, which is, I'm so glad mine is so easy. Back in the day, you didn't used to get all that extra junk after the name. It was just whatever you inputted. So ours is tacit, which is very easy because, well, I actually can't show it, but some people's have a really annoying invite code. Like it's their name plus underscore, then like random 4 letters and numbers. That's how it's done for all newer accounts. But anyone who has just the name, they're like the super OG accounts that were made in like the first year or so before they integrated into the newer system. But all the older ones just kept what they originally were, which if you have one of those, that's actually kind of rare. If your invite code is just whatever your initial input was at the beginning. Because those don't really exist anymore. By don't really exist anymore, I mean they don't at all. If you make a new account now, it'll always have like an underscore and like 4 random numbers and letters at minimum. You have 1 million gold keys. Gosh, there's a lot of gold keys. How many do we have? It's like 400,000, I think, or something. I definitely don't take tribute as much. I think on an average day these days, I take tribute about 5 times in a day. Normally in the morning, midday, later in the day. At least 2 times when we're streaming, like before and after. And then normally like 1 other time throughout the day, randomly. It tends to be about when I claim it. Though, of course, it is theoretically possible to claim it about 18 times per day if you did it like almost every hour you're awake. I don't do that, but it is something that's possible. But anyways, there's a redeem code. Same reward as always, 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Definitely feel free to leave a like on stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. Anyways, I guess we're token farming now. Let's go chase those 20%. Let's go attack these goblins. Give me your loot. But whatever I ended up eating earlier today definitely made me a little bit nauseating. It had like some kind of like cheese thing in it. And the cheese just wasn't that good. It didn't really settle that well. It was one of those like weirder cheeses. I can't remember what it was called. But I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And then it's like, didn't really sit that well. I'm not big on like exotic cheeses, that's for sure. It wasn't like a super exotic cheese, but you know. It was like a weirder one. It didn't really sit that well. As far as like weirder cheeses, I think one of the only few I liked is smoked Gouda. Which isn't like a super high-end cheese, but you know, it's not like a common cheese. But out of any of those like subcategories of like non-common cheeses, I think that one's my favorite. Not counting, you know, like all the super common ones. Like cheddar, Parmesan, you know, all the kind of standard ones you'd kind of put on like a sandwich or something. The cheese was no Gouda, haha! Oh, that's a good pun. That's a really good pun on words. That's really funny. I forget which cheese feta cheese is. I'm pretty sure I'm kind of neutral to it. Like feta cheese, blue cheese, or whatever that one is called. Kind of neutral to them. Like, I would never eat them. And if I try them, they might not settle over well. Oh no, they're just cheese. I'm not big on cheese in general. It is only like the super common cheeses do I really ever eat for the most part. A lot of other ones tend to taste weird to me a lot of times. Like today. Like I still do it on occasion because it's like, I guess. And then I do it and then I regret it. Because my mom actually had a bunch of spears because from her work that she does, it's like a convention center kind of thing. And sometimes they have like bigger events like weddings and stuff, so they get some pretty exotic food sometimes. And she brings some of it home. And honestly, compared to normal food, like some of it's pretty good, obviously, that they have there. But some of the other things that they end up having it sometimes, like it's very, like weird things you normally wouldn't eat. And I mean that in a bad way, not necessarily a good way. Let's see. I'll take that one over. Not that the food is bad, it's just that, you know, like it's good food from a, like, that kind of perspective. But it's just, like, you need a designed taste or desired taste for some of the foods that an average person probably wouldn't have. Let's see, we'll take that one over. A cheese made from almond milk? Oh no. Actually, that's something I've never actually had now that I think about it. Actually, that's not true. I have had vegan cheese before. But it's something I've never gotten in a store. I've gotten it from restaurants before. Like, things that have had vegan cheese. But I've never, like, bulk bought in, like, vegan cheese from a store or something. I should try it at some point. I've had vegan cheeses before. But never specifically store-bought vegan cheese. It was always something that I was, like, eating out at, and it was like, oh, there's a vegan option, sure, I guess. And then it had, like, vegan cheese on it. I've never actually, like, bought vegan cheese from a store or something. I don't know, every time I've had vegan cheese, honestly, it wasn't that bad. Because you don't have, like, that sickening, like, dairy taste that sometimes cheese has. Which is the main thing that made it, like, not settle over too well. Like, that pretty much never happens with vegan cheese because, well, it's not dairy. You don't have to worry about it. So it mostly just comes down to what the taste is. I know, they haven't tasted bad. Like, they're not things I would want to, like, necessarily mass consume. But, you know, it was edible. It satisfied the taste of cheese. Actually, is Genki here now? Or Genki, have you ever had vegan cheese? Aren't you vegan? You could probably all know all about vegan cheese. She's not high earlier, I believe. Not sure where she is now. Might be sleeping. I have no clue what her sleep schedule is. In all fairness, mine's kind of weird at times too. It seems like it's all over the place. Let's see. I'll take that over. Get her destroy over there. Oh, have you ever had vegan cheeses before? How were they? The Genki answers the call. Yeah, we were talking about cheeses, and vegan cheeses came up. What is your thoughts on them? I got a Rainia there. Where do we need to target next? Oh, we'll go to Druxzoom. Oh no, it's at level 1. Oh yeah, isn't Druxzoom the other look? Oh wait, why did I set it to... Why did I do that? It was already set up so I could choose what room I wanted. And then I chose 1. Whoops. I was trying to get to a battle so I could go to the point where I could choose. But it was already at the point where I could choose. That's a bit of a fail. Genki doesn't want cheese, only blood. Are you implying she's a vampire? The texture was awful, really? Okay, I see what you mean. Oh, I thought you were all in on vegetarian. I mean, on vegan. I forgot, you're like a vegetarian mixed or whatever it's called. Like, there's proper terms for it. Let's see if we throw that down. Yeah, that's interesting. Because honestly, every vegan cheese I've had so far I've actually liked. Like, not enough to, like, buy it, more of it. But enough that it was like, you know, I didn't have a bad experience with it. As I can't say the same about normal dairy cheese. Some cheeses are very hit or miss. It was like over 20 years ago. Oh, wow. Yeah, cheese production has definitely gotten better since then. Or artificial cheeses. That's for sure. Gosh, I was barely even born 20 years ago. But then again, I'm starting to get up there in age where 20 years ago actually is technically like not that long ago. Because at one point, it's like 20 years ago. It's like, yeah, I was barely even born then. But I'm starting to get old enough where 20 years ago, it's like, I was kind of already born. Soon I'll be like a teenager 20 years ago. Like, that number's starting to get up there. I think I'll know the exact moment when I'm getting old. When I can say something happened 30 years ago or something. It's like, I remember this happening 30 years ago. It's like, wait, that's a very big number. I'll probably have my midlife crisis the exact moment I realize that. When I'm like 35 and it's like, 30 years ago, I remember... Oh, wait. Oh, what do we need here? We got our explosion. Hello, Chad. Welcome, welcome. I should have probably killed the gnome first, just in case. I'm back in my streaming right now. Let's see. It looked like YouTube went down for a second. Looks like it stuttered. Yeah, it looks like it went down for like 5 seconds. Welcome back. Oh, I got double guard. Honestly, when was the last time our stream completely dropped? Oh, excuse me. Because it's been a while. I feel like it's been months. Oh, what do we need here? I'll throw down that. Because I used to happen a lot more often. And nowadays, I can't even recall the last time our stream just died to such a degree where it's like, oh, I guess we'll stream at some other time. So far, whenever it's died for like maybe a few seconds. And then got right back up. Though there are some times when my local internet just doesn't work. It doesn't happen too often these days. But there are still blackouts where for hours on end it doesn't work. This blackout normally happens at night, which I assume is just maintenance. But it does still happen from time to time. I would like full mana, please. So I can go in. It's so close, yet so far. There we go. I know, we're only 27. I know, chat can probably say that. Because the average age of our viewer base is actually kind of high. Like, I remember when we started the channel, I was actually astounded by how high it was. Because we would have been, what, 20, 21, I believe, or so? Around, like, the starting point of our channel. And our average viewer has always been, like, 40-something. Which is pretty high for a gaming channel. Because the average, like, million view, or, you know, like, million subscriber YouTube channel, like, their average viewer base is almost under 18. So to have a gaming channel where it's that high of an average is actually really rare. Let's see, we'll take that down. We are 1 purple short, which is very unfortunate here. Which is kind of funny too, because even though we have like a higher aged viewer base, I still like never curse or anything. Even though we could probably get away with it more than any other channel. Yet we still don't. I just naturally don't. Like, even if I was, like, allowed to, I still wouldn't. Because I don't really rage, so I would never, like, slip up into it. Nor would I have any need to under any context. So we'll take that one over. I thought that was one of the Dooms for a second. Or not the Dooms, you know. Yeah, yeah, the Dooms. The things that have immune insta-kill. But no, it's just a different portal. It's still in the portal category. You better not. I'll tell your mum. Let's see. What do we need here? I got the two that are really good for low-level stuff. Technically Drakzoom as well. Just right next to each other. I should probably go do them. So that we have more to search for on the map. It's kind of funny because there's 3 total locations and 2 of them are set to the locations where you can do level 1 explore very efficiently. And then the other one's the one I'm actually chasing after. Genki is 12,640 years old. She's not that old. If I had to guess, it's like 40 or 50, right? I'm not even sure. She sounds pretty lively when she chats. It's 49? Yeah, it sounds like you're around that area. I feel like you sound a lot younger than you look. Even though you don't normally stream with visual, but I know you have posted like a couple videos in the past. Like, just based on sound, you definitely sound like lower 40s. Gosh, that's another way to know how old I'm getting to. Thinking that both my parents are in their 60s. Actually, they're almost getting up to their 70s. Because they had kids pretty late. And by kids, I mean single kid. Your mom sounds even younger than you do, really? Because I always find it funny because there are people like in their like upper 30s who have younger parents than my parents. You always keep forgetting some people have like kids like super young. And it always throws me off for a moment when someone like over 10 years older than me has younger parents. We have not been doing good on tokens tonight. What happened to all of our luck we've been getting recently? Because we've been getting some pretty decent rolls. Well, tonight's been kind of average. You're 44 and your mom is 59. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good example of it. Because my mom's 62, I want to say. 60. She's definitely at least 60. I believe it's 62 or 63. I kind of lost track. I know for sure it's at least minimum 60 because I remember doing the big 6-0. I'm the same age as one of your children. Oh gosh. And I'm still not sure if I'm gonna have kids someday. I don't know. Anyone with kids, was it worth it? Go. Life decisions, was it worth having your kids? Your kids will never hear it. Let me know. It's just a weird world these days. Seems like so much work. I definitely want to some degree. It's just such a gigantic commitment. And literally everyone has said it is worth it. Interesting. What would you say was the hardest part? 1,000,000% yes. What's the hardest part? I know, right? Like, where should I start? Here's a whole book on every single complexity. This will cover about 10% of everything you need to know. Let's see. You mean besides giving birth? I know, right? Yeah, honestly, if I was a female, one of my biggest concerns with even having a child would probably just be like surviving the birth, especially with no healthcare in America. That's hello, Jonian. Welcome, welcome. I would prefer you not to insta-kill my hero. That'd be great. Omega Striker. Someone was mentioning that the other day. What's he even like? Is it on Steam? Let me just look up like what it is. Because a couple people have mentioned it, even during the Fall Guys stream. I guess the game is like really popping off recently. What is Omega Strikers? Omega Strikers. Omega Strikers. Give me some images. Actually, this might be scary to search images of Google. We'll take the risk. Let's see. What is it? It looks like a bunch of waifus. Is this it? Is it basically, what is that? Soccer? Hockey? Oh, is it like a hero arena hockey? Interesting. Because that's what that kind of looks like. I feel like I wouldn't like this game for the same reason I've never played Rocket League. Like, as far as sports are concerned, soccer is like pretty high up there as one of my favorites. But I would never play a game based only on soccer for more than like 10 hours. Like this and like Rocket League and stuff like that. They're a game that if I ever played it, I would play it like once or twice. And then unless some friends wanted to play it, I would like never play it again. But what do they basically do? Make like soccer into waifus? Because that's what this looks like. Like anime style. Like that looks very anime-like. Oh, so I shouldn't keep scrolling down based on the topic matter. Because there's definitely some creative art out there of those things, that is for sure. I'll catch you later, Chad. But yeah, I don't feel like I would ever get into a game like that. The only battle royale kind of like, well, I guess it's not necessarily battle royale like, But as far as like recent ones, it was Spellbreak, and then that game died. And as far as some other ones, I saw Rumbleverse, which I didn't actually get into yet. But it's basically like, how do you describe it? It's basically like if you took professional wrestling, and you know all like the gimmicky stuff and like the it's like fake and everything, and made it into a battle royale. It really has that vibe to it. And like if you pitched to me like it's a wrestling game, it'd be like, not that good. But then you actually see like footage of the game, it's like, that's actually okay. I haven't bothered playing it yet. But as far as like recent games like that I would maybe try, I think Rumbleverse is like the closest to it. I don't think there's a Steam version of it though, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those ones where it's like if you want to play it on PC, it's Epic exclusive, which is probably one of the reasons I haven't gotten around to it either. Because I don't believe it's on Switch, and I don't believe it's on Steam. Which makes it really annoying to access, because those are like the only two places I play games, for the most part. What about that Dragonfly and Deathmatch one? Oh, that game has like no servers right now. Like Age of Century or Age of Ashes or whatever it's called. Like I barely even got back into it when it relaunched, or you know when it launched. Like I played it a bunch during the beta, and then it didn't seem like it was really going anywhere, and then it launched to like no fanfare, and now I'm pretty sure it's dead because its concurrent player base is like under 100 for a matchmaking system that requires 10 to even get one lobby going. Because the biggest issue with that game is guilds basically overran the game. Because of how the matchmaking worked. To the point where if you weren't in like a guild, you just like auto lost. Because they would put like entire stacked teams against completely random queue teams. And it led to exceedingly high imbalance. Because the matchmaking system was awful. Because that game was a game that died almost entirely to its matchmaking system. Which is an issue with a lot of multiplayer games. Like, you can kill an entire multiplayer game, like a perfect one, if it just has bad matchmaking. It's kind of funny, too, because any game that has bad matchmaking gets even worse bad matchmaking. Because, you know, if you have less players to pull from, matchmaking's not going to be as good. So it's like a self-perpetuating cycle, where it, like, initially has bad matchmaking, and then it having bad matchmaking causes worse matchmaking, to the point where even if they try to fix the matchmaking, it doesn't matter, because there's not enough player base to make a good matchmaking system. And it just spirals out of control from there. And that's basically what happened with Century Age of Ashes. Oh, I should have taken a red. What am I doing? Oh, no. Alright, now I really need purple. Call of Duty has bad matchmaking, but it's still around. Well, they have, like, an infinite budget. That's one of those games where money's not an object. Well, it is for the bottom line, but, you know. Like, any budget they need, they literally have, like, an infinite pool to pull from. So they can get away with a lot of things that normally you wouldn't be able to. Because obviously they're still trying to make a profit, but their pool of money to pull from is, like, near infinite. Like, they're pretty much never gonna run out. Hey, from no good tokens to double good token. A Nisha and an Anu. Love to see it. Of course, this is from Zokari, the better location. Actually, probably one of going to be our first magic location, too. Since it only requires green. If only we could find 20 more of these things. I think that we have 5 of them right there. If only we could find 15 more of these things. Actually, how's the next closest? How are we doing on purple? Now that we upgraded them all. Not what I wanted to check. Oh, aren't you doing better on green right now than purple? Interesting. Anyways, where are we hunting? Dragon's Claw. Oh no, it's still at level 1. Oh no, I actually have to win. I was about to just run away from the battle, but they're gonna give me a gnome. I'm gonna kill the gnome. That would be funny if that happened multiple times in a row. Or I'm just trying to lose the battle and it just keeps making me want to not lose the battle. It's kind of funny, since we reached a mini boss, we're going to get some small amount of shards now. And by some small amount, I mean like 1. Oh no, actually we got 4 there. Wait, why'd it give us 4? I thought it gives you half less. It like gave me the full amount. That's weird. Because I could have sworn we were at 10 and now we're at 14. Yeah, I do find that kind of funny. Because I do feel like the shooter genre have kind of ironically become the more casual genre of gaming. Like, there's still some played at like a really high level. But I feel like the average shooter game is actually a really casual game these days. That might have not always been the case like throughout the history of shooters. But I feel like the average shooter is targeted at like a super ultra casual. At least compared to back in the day. Not all of them, obviously. I mean, like, generally speaking. Are you streaming Words Can Kill tomorrow? Probably Saturday. I don't know. I was probably going to do it Saturday and Sunday. I'm tempted to do it tomorrow. I just don't want to burn myself completely out on it, though. So it's probably going to be Saturday, Sunday. Because I feel like I'll overburn myself out if I do it, like, 3 days in a row. So I'm probably just going to save it for this weekend. Yeah, I'm probably doing no stream tomorrow. Or, you know, still doing Gems of War tomorrow night, but, you know, no midday stream, I mean. Boomer shooter. Is that actually a term? I don't ever play shooter games, so I'm not sure. I know of shooter games. It's one of those genres I pretty much never play. Like, even Nintendo, where I play, like, a good number of Nintendo games. Like, they released their premiere shooter the other month, and I still haven't played it. Splatoon 3 came out, like, what, a couple weeks ago? I haven't even looked up footage of it, let alone played it. Nor do I intend to. Well, I might look up footage of it, but I'm not going to be, playing it. You're going to be grinding Pokemon tomorrow. I feel like I'm going to use tomorrow to catch up a bit on sleep. Also, I might cover a few Gems of War videos. I still never covered all those gem dragons. I have everything set up to do so, I just haven't covered a video on them. Though I'm not covering an arena video, though. I've covered arena videos in the past. Actually, one pretty recently, too, a couple months ago. It's kind of funny, because the video actually didn't do good, because, like, no one plays arena. We had, hey, another Anu. Because we did like a really comprehensive arena guide. And it really shows how many people play arena based on how many views the video got. Because I could cover a video on Gems of War covering almost anything, and it would probably get more views than covering arena comprehensively. Because almost no one plays arena. We pulled it before too, and like less than 50% end up playing arena. Like, it's not that many. Which is sad, because it used to be one of the bigger modes in the game that have become way increasingly more irrelevant over time. So why did I do that? I already had the win condition. Oh, speaking of which, we definitely need to upgrade the Mythic tier list video before the end of this year. Something I definitely need to get around to. The only issue with that is setting up the video. Finding all the files, because gosh, there's like 100-something Mythics these days. And we'd go over every one of them. Obviously allocating like maybe a minute per each, because if we spend any more than that, the video is going to get very long. I don't know, how long do you guys think a tier list video should be? Because realistically, if I cover a Mythic tier list video at 1 minute per Mythic, we're talking like 2.5 hours for a tier list video. Like, it's something that could be covered in as short as like half an hour, and as long as like 3 hours, depending on how comprehensive we go over each Mythic. Technically even more than 3 hours if we did a team for every single one, though there's no way I would do a team for every single one. You know how many teams that would be? Like, I think it would take literally over a week just to make a team for every Mythic. And then also make sure they're good, which would take even longer. Do we have to wait 5 years for the video? Hey, the last one I covered was 2020. It has been almost 3 years. We do a tier list here, like the game fixes lifelong bugs or any feature requests. It takes them at least 3 years. Reproduce videos here quite similarly. Remember when Treasure Hunt was going to get reworked? It's been 4 years now. Treasure Hunt still hasn't been reworked. Arena got the rework, though it wasn't really that good of a rework. But Treasure Hunt still hasn't gotten the rework talked about for over 4 years now. Almost 5 years by now. It's been so long, I'm honestly losing track of the exact amount of time. It's definitely a mode that needs one, because I would actually play Treasure Hunt more if it was worth actually playing Treasure Hunt. Because I don't hate the mode, I just hate the payout for the time invested. It's just not worth it. The only time we ever do it is if it's one of those weekly objectives where it's like, hey, go play Treasure Hunt. And then we go play Treasure Hunt. Once you got the achievement, you never play Treasure Hunt again. I'm not even sure how many times we've gotten double chests on Treasure Hunt at this point. I want to say dozens. Like, I almost want to say hundreds. But that sounds a little bit too high. There was a point where we were playing Treasure Hunt that much. Because this is really exciting when it first came out. because the payout for it was actually scaled pretty well to the economy of the game at the time. Can't quite say that about the current state of it. But at one point, it was a like nice, fresh payout was good. I don't feel like gameplay for it needs too much of a change, but I do feel like it could use some extra perks, like the ability to cast stuff while you're doing it, like one-time casts that you could do during the board, based on something. Is that would kind of liven it up a little bit more than like the standard just taking stuff. Because the main gameplay of the game's like that. You get 4 different options. If they give you like 4 one-time casts that you could do onto the board, that'd be kind of cool. You can only use them once per treasure hunt, and they can assist you when you just direly need it. Like something to switch it up just a little bit. Almost like lifelines in one of those game show kind of games. I'd like to call a friend. I'd like to ask the audience. I'd like to skip this question. Or I guess in this case it would be shuffle the board. Actually, that reminds me. Does Who Wants to Be a Millionaire still run on TV these days? I wouldn't know because I haven't TV'd in over a decade. But I feel like that show still exists, right? Because that was pretty popular back in the day. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And I'm pretty sure it's still kind of around these days. Probably not as popular as it once was, though. Not enough boomers. No. It was a good show, though. Let's see. Take the other one down. And I just need a little bit of poke. Counting all 5 times as an extra turn, that would actually be pretty interesting for treasure hunt. Because you do get punished for chaining multiple 5 times in treasure hunt currently. And the removal of that would definitely change how you play a little bit. Because it wouldn't matter if you do really big cascades at the beginning. Because there are some treasure hunt starts where that's really annoying. Because you'll get like 5 times in a single turn, but you only get 1 extra turn instead of 6. So you have to do chain each one independently of each other. Which is really annoying to set up at the start of a treasure hunt. Just because of how much stuff cascades into each other. Because you have to actually do it inverse of how you normally do it, where you kind of like start from the top, work your way down, kind of go from there. Whereas later on in the map, you kind of want to start from your bottom and take it from the top only if you can get good value from it. Because it plays weirdly, where you initially want to start from the top and work your way down, and then you eventually want to go from the bottom and work your way to the top. It's a very weird mode with a lot of nuance that doesn't pay out that well. So it's really not worth learning most of that nuance. I thought we had a vertical there. I think the weirdest thing with Treasure Hunt and Gems of War is how much differently it plays from the rest of the game. Because you basically play Treasure Hunt inversely of how you play the rest of the game. The base core game of Gems of War is you want to leave the ending board as worse as possible for the enemy. Whereas in Treasure Hunt, you want every subsequent turn to make the board better than what it was previously. Which is quite literally the exact opposite of how you play the rest of the game. Which I always found kind of funny. And probably one of the reasons why Treasure Hunt isn't too popular either. Because you have this whole game centered around a mechanic. And then you have a mini game that's like the exact inverse of that mechanic with no combat, no good rewards, no nothing. So you're not even learning like the core aspect of the game. If anything, you're learning the exact opposite of how to play the game. I would like to be unentangled. Unfortunately, I have no way to do so. What's kind of funny is we're actually kind of obliterating it even through Entangle. I'm about to skull through this thing through Entangle. Alright, fine, we'll just Zoog off it. I probably should have done Flamer further just to let it kill it with the hero. Doesn't really matter though. Anyways, this is probably the last chest we're going for now. Starting from the top and working your way down, Tacit 2022. I don't need to get the poke. Oh yeah, let's see what we get in our final chest. Ain't it good? Nope. I already preempted the no. I had a feeling. But we did get a Nisha Anu drop, so tonight was not without any loot. It was just pretty average otherwise, but hey, still a Nisha, still an Anu. Still more tokens towards the progress of getting everything upgraded. We're still trying to get every common in the game fully maxed. Obviously, we are still ways away from that, but we're getting there. We got all the commons maxed. We're working on the rares currently. And we still have a lot of patches. And by a lot of patches, I mean, gosh, we still have like 100 something left. We're getting there slowly. But they're not going to grind themselves. These ideally want to have like every common, every rare, and every ultra rare max. We already did all the commons. So these are done. Every single common is gold medaled. There's not a single common. Unless there's a new one I forgot to do recently. Have we gotten a new common recently? I don't believe we have. But yeah, every single common in the game fully maxed. And we're currently working on rares. Slowly but surely over time. But anyways, guys, that will wrap it up for now. We will be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now. You guys know the drill by now. We'll have another redeem code then, mess around with stuff. We do have an arena event. I guess we might poke out the arena. Obviously, arena being one of the worst payout events, but I might still grind it some. I will probably do a poll for it around the beginning of tomorrow's stream. I'll do dungeons, and during dungeons, I'll have a poll up, like, do you want me to do Explorer, or Dungeon, or, you know, whatever, or not Dungeon, but, you know, Arena, and let's do, go do it based on the poll. Because I'm not sure if we'll do Arena or not. Obviously, it's one of the worst weekend events, but it does still pay out some stuff. Might still be able to get some Imperials, might still be able to get some other, little bit of loot from it, so we'll see. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Have a wonderful weekend coming up, and I'll catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone, and best of luck with everything. Just do the 50 points. Yeah, do the 50 points for, like, the 3 gem keys. Yeah, you do actually get technically a good payout for the very first arena run, and then every arena run from there forth is bad value. There's basically 3 strategies, I would say, or 4 strategies. There is do up to orb, do 9 battles across 3 per day, so you get the dailies, do 1 battle, so you get the gem keys, or ignore arena exists. Those are basically the 4 options, and pretty much nothing in between. It's either do up to orb, do 9 so you get the dailies, do 1 so you get the gem keys, or do none and pretend it doesn't exist. Those are the options pretty much. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later.